Yo, Eldon here with Mountain Bred. As you could probably tell, I'm wearing the exact same clothes as the last video. That's because I have a bit of time to record some reading. Okay, so now we're focusing on Mountain Bred number 5. I posted this back in April 22nd, 2025. And yeah, we'll see what it's all about. If you're new here, welcome. This is a place where I'm just reading some blog posts that I wrote with the intention of just practicing some vulnerability and sharing about the journey that I'm on. And if we dig deep enough, it's a journey that we're all kind of on. So if you're curious, hang around for a little bit. If you're already fed up with this guy talking on the screen, God bless you and good luck with your life, truly. And anyway, enjoy. Yeah, we're going to get into it. I haven't read it yet, so there might be some weird run-on sentences in here, but that is just how it goes. Okay, Mountain Bred 5. My grandmother has been on my mind a lot lately. She was this beautiful, spiritual, and silly woman who loved to crack jokes and talk about God. Or maybe I loved talking about God with her. Every time she farted, she'd ask if anyone heard the ducks. The other day, when I went out for my morning stroll to connect with nature, something landed on the nearby water. Startled and exclaiming, "Jesus!" She would have liked that. I opened my eyes to see that it was a female duck with the most beautiful patch of blue on its rear. The tears flowed quickly and suddenly, and without any resistance. "Hi, Grandmama," I thought. "Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for all the prayers you asked for me. Thank you for all the prayers you asked for everyone." You see, my grandmother was a religious woman. But beyond that, she was a spiritual and truly in a conscious relationship with her Creator, seemingly at all times. In the last few months of her life, she spent the majority of that time praying for others. I used to think prayer was a tool to ask God to manipulate others to bend their will to certain denominations, but as I continued to burn my life into the ground over and over and over again, I finally developed the sense that prayer was about asking and opening to receive positive energy through the admittance or surrender of negative energy, or by asking for others to receive positive energy. Good vibes, one love, Ja. That was a big sentence. For someone that was fueled by self-pity and destructive, addictive behavior, I was blinded by my own negativity. I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I couldn't snuff out any sense of hope. But someone else could. Someone like my grandmother. She knew that salvation existed for someone even as hopeless as me. I now know in my heart that even on her deathbed, she was praying that I be granted such salvation. At the time of this writing, 2.5 years of continuous sobriety later, it is clear that her prayers were answered. It is nothing short of a miracle that I discovered what my problem was and found the willingness to surrender to its common solution. It wasn't enough to call myself an alcoholic or an addict. Those are just labels. I was already conditioned in calling myself depressed, fucked up, antisocial, incapable, perpetual failure, unlovable piece of shit that didn't deserve the air that he breathed. The switch flipped, however, when I came to the understanding that I suffer from a disease, of which there is a common solution. The only problem with that is that there is only one solution. Calling myself anything availed nothing, but moving forward based on action that would have me clean house, help others, and trust God changed everything. We're getting into the lore here. At my rock bottom, I had accidentally swallowed a 50-cent coin, true story, from 1968, trying to compress a gram or two of mushrooms with a Scooby Snack cookie a friend had given me. This, by the way, makes me officially more 50 Cent than 50 Cent. Then, when I discovered that I wasn't going to choke to death, I washed it down with 13 microdose capsules and a half to 26 ounce of pink gin in only a matter of seconds. I was feeling the effects of the acid I had taken the day before, or maybe the morning before, who knows. And despite the chemical cornucopia whirling around within my body and mind, I still wasn't fucked up enough. I was too coherent. I didn't just want to black out, I wanted ego death. And more than that, I wanted ego murder. I was done being me. And I wanted to be done forever. But no matter what I took or how much I ingested, I was still me. I fooled myself to believe that I was doing the shadow work to elicit God's hand to work in my life in ways He wasn't already. What God had provided me was not enough. Instead of working with what I got, I despairingly tried to force His hand to change everything. Yet nothing worked. Eventually, I found myself by the river, where I found a men's mental health and suicide awareness shirt that I proceeded to use to tie around my neck, cutting off about 65% of my airflow and around this giant green inflatable dragon. Somehow I ended up at the front of a stage, half choking with this stupidly large dragon, where a French-Canadian woman asked if I was okay. And somehow I mustered the strength to be honest for the first time in a long while. No, I'm not. Can you help untie this fucking shirt? She did, and then she offered me to smoke from her shatter pen. It was the one thing I swore I would never do again. Sure, mushrooms, acid, cocaine, ketamine, whippets were fine. Alcohol wasn't even a question, but weed was off the table, even though I'd been smoking plenty of CBD for the previous months. And even once bought some mango haze when I ran out of CBD. It was 1:1 THC to CBD. The psychoactive elements were negligible. Right. This thing that caused me 4 hospitalizations due to psychosis of grief and agony. But nothing else was working. And so I accepted her offer. Oddly enough, this song, written years before this experience, proves itself to be very fitting. I'm improvising here. I'm not reading the thing. So I share it with you now. High on acid, all my thoughts are gaslit by the ever-changing scenery. Where's the matches? I need a cigarette to recollect my breath, 'cause when I close my eyes to rest, I don't know if I'm alive or dead. Fuck, I've had enough. Time to take a puff. Fuel the fire in me, 'cause self-care is love. Paper lantern, hollow shell. Add the amber and rise above hell. Float away in the sky, don't come down till I die. Don't need to know the reasons why I'm alive, 'cause I'm high on acid. It's fantastic, and no matter how deep I go, my mind's elastic. Right back to the same place from start to finish. A mind race through all of space, but a puzzle piece is missing. Another puff, and now I remember. Awoke in my soul, awoke in my ember. Yeah, I was a slave. I was in the grips of my master. There was no way out. There was never any way out. Yet, here I am today, clean and sober for 2.5 years. 3 and a bit now. All this to say that God has provided more than enough. God has provided me a body that moves and a mind that thinks and a mouth that speaks. I could finally admit that all that's left for me is to enter a present and conscious relationship with my Creator. And that's to put the work in myself. Not necessarily like work in me, but like I gotta put that work in. I like myself has gotta put that work in. I need to show up for this relationship that has existed long before I was birthed into this world as Eldon. Showing up for me can be as simple as sitting on my meditation cushion or thinking or singing aloud a prayer. A prayer can be as simple as thank you or help. I could show up for this relationship by stepping outside and making a deliberate connection with the life of nature all around me. I could show up for this relationship by willingly being an active participant in the world. And perhaps the best way I could show up to this relationship is by loving you. Just loving you. Loving this outside that's not me. As I wept the tears from my face, thanking my grandmother for protecting me with her love, I heard a rustling in front of me. Again, I opened my eyes, this time to a heron in full flight no more than 3 meters away from me. If you thought I cried with the duck, I absolutely lost it with the heron. An extreme expression of gratitude for God keeping me safe and keeping me sober, and for the faith I had in my grandmother's faith. I love you, Eldon. Yeah, so in conclusion, we're learning about prayer, learning about faith, learning about rock bottoms. Yeah, it's so difficult to have that kind of awareness to be like, okay, this is where I'm at. I don't know if it's going to get better. I don't know if God will do anything. I don't even know if God exists. But like with that practice, like being in the fire and knowing like, I might be burned here. But I don't know what this experience is going to turn into. So if I could be in those moments, like be at those very critical points in my life with even the ability to just say, like, just to speak these words that I've never been able to say before, but fuck it, I'm going to say these words now. God, I don't know how your plan is working in this moment, but I trust you. And, I know that there's going to be light and peace on the other side of this, this extreme, whatever. And then you get through it, and then you're on the other side, and then you recall that experience like, well, obviously God works like that. Just look at what happened to me. Look what happened to you. Anyway, this is Peanut. Hi, Peanut. Anyway, we love you, and we are wishing you a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in. If any of this resonated, let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I'm super open to feedback. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just sharing. And that's kind of it. So this is for you. Let me know how I can help. Okie dokie. God bless. Next time. Until next time. Okay.